I'm bliss, highly favored. I'm bliss, highly favored.
Is it too early to be talking about Money in the Bank? Now, usually the Money in the Bank pay-per-view will take place in July, the month before SummerSlam, which I always thought was great because we've seen a lot of great cash-ins happen at SummerSlam. Like last year, we saw Seth Rollins pull off the Ruse of the Century. We've seen like Io Sky cash in at SummerSlam. So I always thought it was cool to have the Money in the Bank take place before SummerSlam. But this year they're doing it after SummerSlam, which I don't know why they're doing it that way, but hopefully it ends up working out. But in this video, I'm going to be trying to predict the participants for the Money in the Bank and ultimately who I think will win the Money in the Bank this year. So first, I want to start off with a superstar that I was really, banking on to win Money in the Bank. I really thought he would do it this year. That's going to be Logan Paul. I know it sounds crazy. A lot of people probably wouldn't have wanted to see this, but I was really hoping that Logan Paul would be able to make it in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He is unfortunately not this year. He's going to be injured, I believe, until November, December. So that sucks for him. I was really hoping he would win this year, but he's not going to be in the match. So I do have 3 honorable mentions for SmackDown and for Raw. So we'll start off with those. So my first honorable mention for SmackDown is going to be Ricky Saints. I love Ricky Saints. The work he's been doing is amazing. Really big fan of him. I'm sure he has a bright future in WWE, but I don't think this year is his year for Money in the Bank, so I don't think he's going to make it into the match, but he'll probably be in the qualifiers. Next up, we have Carmelo Hayes. I believe he was in last year's match. I know for sure he was in the 2024 Money in the Bank that Drew McIntyre won. I believe he was in 2025 as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but he will win Money in the Bank one day. I'm sure about it, but I don't think this year is his year, unfortunately. And I don't think they want to do what they did with LA Knight, have him in the 2023, 2024, and 2025, and lose all 3 back-to-back. I don't think they want that for Melo, so I think it'd just be better off to have him, skip out on Money in the Bank this year, and then maybe hopefully win it next year or sometime after that. But I just don't think this year is his year, unfortunately. I would absolutely love it if he won, but I don't think WWE is going to pull the trigger on him just yet. Next up, we have a guy that I thought could have won last year. We have Solo Sikoa. I thought it would have been pretty cool to have him win last year. I'm a big fan of Solo. I think he's hilarious, and the work he does is absolutely amazing. So I thought it would have been pretty cool if he won last year. He didn't end up winning. Seth Rollins ended up winning. But, yeah, man, Solo Sikoa, he totally could be in this year's Money in the Bank, and he could definitely win. I think he could win the World Heavyweight Championship. Not Cody's title, most likely Roman's title, but, yeah, I don't know how soon that'll be. I just don't think this year is Solo's year. For my Monday Night Raw honorable mentions, first up, we have, I absolutely love this guy. He's probably my favorite superstar right now. He just advanced in the King of the Ring tournament, and I was so close to having him in here, but I ultimately ended up going with someone else. We have Dominic Mysterio. I know he's probably a lot of people's picks to win. I don't know. I just don't see WWE doing it this year. I don't think he's world title ready just yet. I don't think he can carry a brand with a world championship. Again, I love Dominic Mysterio and all the work he's doing, but I just don't think that this year is the year for him to win Money in the Bank. For my next honorable mention for Monday Night Raw, a little bit of a wild card. He is in a tag team right now, but I could totally see this tag team splitting up before SummerSlam. We have Montez Ford of the Street Profits. People have been wanting him to go on a solo run for a very long time. People have been wanting to see him with a singles push. I think he could totally win a World Heavyweight Championship, but I think he kind of has to win a mid-card title first. And I just think the timeline between now and Money in the Bank, a lot has to go down. He has to turn on Dawkins, have a feud with him, and I just think it's more likely that he ends up winning a mid-card title before a world title. So I ended up leaving Montez out. And then the last guy for the Monday Night Raw honorable mentions is going to be Braun Breaker. I don't think we've seen him in a Money in the Bank ladder match yet. I think it is very likely that he will be in this year's Money in the Bank ladder match, and this is a very strong case for him to win. I totally thought he would advance in the King of the Ring tournament last night. He ended up, not advancing. I thought it would have been cool if him and Seth would have been the finals, but I guess not. But yeah, he had a very strong case to win King of the Ring. I can't believe he didn't advance, but I guess they probably didn't want to do Breaker versus Oba yet. So I could totally see him being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I just ended up leaving him out. But now, let's take a look at the 6 participants, 3 from SmackDown, 3 from Raw, that I chose to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. First up from Friday Night SmackDown, it had to be Sami Zayn. Very strong case for him to win. He hasn't won Money in the Bank yet. He's been in a lot of Money in the Bank ladder matches. I could totally see him winning this year. Yeah, he just has to be in it. With him turning heel, I don't know if he has officially turned heel yet, but I view him as a heel now. I could totally see him being in the Money in the Bank ladder match and winning it. Another guy from SmackDown that I chose is going to be Finn Balor. Yeah, man, I don't know what they're doing with Finn. I feel like on Monday Night Raw, there was a lot more opportunities for him to get his singles push. And I'm not a big fan of him on SmackDown. I know we haven't seen anything of him yet, but I just don't see him getting a big push on SmackDown. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, man, I hope maybe he advances in the King of the Ring tournament next week, and we see big things for Finn Balor on SmackDown. But yeah, man, I hope he is in a Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think he'll win at all, because why would WWE push Finn Balor? But I would be rooting for him to win if he was in the match. And the last guy, he's not an official member of SmackDown just yet, but I see him signing to SmackDown. He just had the match of the year. We are talking about Chad Gable. I know a lot of people probably say, why would you have Chad Gable instead of, Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande Americano? But Ludwig Kaiser, as El Grande Americano, is going to be doing things in AAA. I know Triple Mania is also in September. It's a couple days after Money in the Bank. And I could totally see El Grande Americano picking up the AAA championship. So I feel like around this time, he'll be a lot more focused on AAA than WWE. So just leave him off WWE during that time period and have him go after the AAA championship. For Monday Night Raw, the first guy I chose is Ethan Page. Similar to Ricky Saints, I'm a massive fan of Ethan Page. He's, been one of my favorites on TV, always one of my favorites in NXT. So really glad to see him get called up to Monday Night Raw and, be around that Intercontinental Championship division. But yeah, man, I hope to see big things for Ethan Page this year. The next guy I chose for Monday Night Raw is going to be the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, recently joining the Bloodline. I can totally see Roman wanting one of his guys in there, and I think, Jacob Fatu has a much stronger case of getting in here than one of the Usos. Jimmy Uso, definitely not. Jey Uso, maybe we see him in here, but I think Jacob Fatu being in here is more likely, and this could potentially be how Jacob turns on Roman and goes back on a singles run, is winning Money in the Bank and then cashing in on Roman instead of Cody. But the final guy, I'm sure you guys all saw this coming from a mile away, is of course LA Knight. And he, of course, has the strongest case to be winning this. Maybe he advances in the King of the Ring tournament next week. Maybe he even wins King of the Ring. That'd be awesome for him. But yeah, man, I think it's about time LA Knight gets his push for the World Heavyweight Championship. So whether that happens for King of the Ring or for Money in the Bank, I think Money in the Bank is more realistic and just suits LA Knight better overall. But maybe it's King of the Ring. But if LA Knight doesn't win King of the Ring, he's 100% going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And I think this year is the year. So with that being said, with all these guys being here, I think LA Knight has the strongest case and would be my pick to win Money in the Bank this year. Again, you got some other guys like Braun Breaker. I'd say he has a very strong case too. If you pick him, I wouldn't blame you. Maybe Trick Williams loses the United States Championship and wins King of the Ring. Wins Money in the Bank. I don't see Oba or Javon in Money in the Bank. Maybe Javon Evans will be in the ladder match for sure. I could see him maybe taking Ethan Page's spot for this lineup that I have here. But I think maybe they should bring back an 8-man Money in the Bank ladder match, get more opportunities for people, and I think that might be a little bit more enjoyable because then you could probably have a spot for like a Javon Evans or, Trick Williams in here. But yeah, so if I'm calling it, this will be the final Money in the Bank ladder match that I predict, and then I would go with LA Knight to win. Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, even Chad Gable all have a really strong case, but there's no way they have LA Knight lose 4 years straight, and I think this year is the year for LA Knight to get a World Heavyweight Championship. But those are just my predictions for Money in the Bank. Let me know yours down in the comments below. I know it is a little bit early, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about Money in the Bank and, get my thoughts out there. But if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, so I would really appreciate it if you guys did subscribe. But that's going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm bliss, highly favored. I'm bliss, highly favored.